insanity. I know you in a position that you ain't plan to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck, went through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. Said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so he said fuck the world. For real, look, cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. By trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? I don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gon' get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would've done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, and lean and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said the world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
From the top, and they gon' play with it. Yo, show up, Uncle Don. Show up, Uncle Don. Show up, Uncle Don.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east, turn to the east. You go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east. Turn to the east. You go to war, y'all. That I was dealing with, all I seen was stress. Now I really know the truth, and I understand what hurting niggas. Beast of the field, they eat us up and they hurting you. UBK is what I'm repping. Zion means a weapon. Some of you niggas playing, but for me, I'm really stepping. The mission that I'm on is waking up all our people. Show them we are them heathens, they gon' burn. Esau is about to fall, then Jacob is all turned. They been fucking with the chosen, so they gotta pay. Revelation 13 and 10, tell me what does it say? When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the
It's hard.
Now you in trouble, playing with my brothers. Fucking around with these bitches, boy. I swear we don't love them. Okay, my tank off a star. Scheme from my shop. The way I put that G on, but they might give me another one. I can't just sit here and fuck you. Let alone sit here. Gotta get off. So, and all I tell you what I'm doing. Stars, I'm you hang with them niggas on my name is saving, I'm too wrong. See what type of man face that eats on your pussy, little bitch. And everybody got their trust up in their God with that shit. Yeah, we really feel the love. We ain't worried about that shit. Yeah, he wish that he could. Yeah, I wish a nigga would. Man, fuck that, we turning up, going all in with this shit. I feel like them niggas on giving bones at the wall with this shit. We took our oath with this shit, and I'm embedded in this shit. And I die for this shit. And this ain't bro. I bite the bullet first pussy. Yeah, hop up in the bush. From her position. I'm with my brother. Just wanna say no. How you in trouble? That brother come around this boy. I will okay, my tank off a star. Scheme from the way I put that G on, but they might give me another. Like out my ass, I get this paper, no I love it. My women mad at something. She mad at a warrior. Preach the props, I bomb, come explode. Let's get. Put it all on me. Lay it all on me. Put it all on me.
Fake love, real hate.
One West.
But we set apart, nigga.
They hate it when you up, but love it when you down. Love you when you down, but hate you while you live. One thing about that UPK, this brotherhood for certain. Dress you up in all black, gird you up to put that work in. When you down, love
Fuck nigga too close to me, prefer to fuck with fear niggas than house niggas with notes on me. Get a shirt off my back for devoted niggas with loyalty. I noticed the lack of devoted niggas that's trustworthy if you ain't in no black. Ranked up, I'd give two fucks for free. Death before dishonor is a must. It ain't no choice from me. I'm bred different. Was never one to die, just bullshit. I'm fed different. Fuck all the information out of pulpits. I'm led different. Been taught to follow a code. Israel law, statutes, commandments, freely given, never sold, nigga. Chill.
They hate it when you up, but love it when you down. Love you when you there, but hate you while you living. Only make a mention when it's beneficial. You can't keep it solid, I ain't fucking with you.
Down, baby, I was like, damn, they must be playing a jam. Then I saw how you was moving it. I had the tab bro like fam. Shawty, there must be a scam. And then I saw what you was drinking on. Steady throwing to the early morning time. Sipping on Douce. She know she bad and she groovy. Then we locked eyes and I came over. Shorty so bad, got me off the sofa. Hourglass body like a Coca-Cola. I asked her what's your name, she told me it was Rosa. Brown eyed skin looking like mocha. And she crazy fit, probably do yoga. But I can tell what Shorty been through. So what I gotta say is, when you see me, you ain't never gonna see another nigga the exact same way. A nigga greater than other niggas, the way they play. I know you been hurt, I've been hurt too. But just let a nigga slide through and lean on my shoulder, girl. And just know that I got you.
Yeah.
Just know that I got you.
The bracket room is popping out, usually a homebody tonight. I'm with the Ikem, DA Ram, Lamar, and them shorty pass. I'm watching her. A lot of chicks in the spot, nobody hot as her. I liked on the way more than an observation. She single-minded, it's an opportunity. I gotta take it. A preaching prophet is solid, practice a lot of patience. No game playing, I promise a real conversation. No representative, what you getting all up in your vision is what the business is. Illest nigga up in the premises, you make the right decision tonight, you gon' remember this. Both had a good time because the vibe cool. So she gave up the line for me to slide through. Said she tired of disguises being lied to. Well, don't sweat it, baby, I got you.
You see me, you ain't never gon' see another nigga the exact same way. A nigga greater than other niggas, the way they play. I know you been hurt, I've been hurt too. But just let a nigga slide through and lean on my shoulder, girl. And just know that I got you. Just know that I got you.
You damn scared rag. Call that little body, bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, sip. Damn. All these niggas want down, hate, but tell them zip. Lip, you a dumb ass, scared ass, boy, little body, bitch. Damn. And I ain't worried about nothing, nigga. Nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know, nigga, don't reminisce. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. But you a whole ass dirty, that little damn body ass nigga. Get body with it down, scritchy with your little bitch. And you a little boy, a little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. Be rain, you mad, get stained, work hard, didn't play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, you leech ass, little fame. I won't walk, not the same. For wrong. For wrong, nigga. For wrong. I tell nigga. For wrong. You get your shit together, nigga. For wrong. Work. I'ma do this shit till I right, you little body bitch. I'ma judge your ass like shit. Pot, you little body bitch, and I'm smooth with it, y'all the zock, you little body bitch, and I switch ain't gon' know thought, you little body bitch, and I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch, and I'm stone cold like a bond, you little body bitch, and I'm a warrior like that Gabar, you little ain't like none of Zock, you little body bitch, need a princess part bar, you little body bitch, or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch, yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, didn't play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, you leech ass, love fame, I sing. Right back at you again. Straight from 125th, 1 West, Harlem, New York. Home of the truth, nigga. Out of the Bible, the men above me shout, "Who?" And all the warriors be like, Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Yasha. And all the warriors be like, Yasha. All day as we discuss how they don't like us. Gathered on streets and corners, all is fed up. Can't get between us, watch where you steppin'. Cause a scene, you gon' see how brotherhood is a weapon. Tough skin protect our wrists, teach girls and kids devoutness. Call a prophetess, a priest damn near nothing without it. More than rubies, cute and understanding when describing. Virtue, love, and no from the daughters of Zion. Gold teeth, earrings, chains, and the rings, precious metals, fabric, synthetic stones, and everything. China. Like boom, Yasha, man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments, God of the Bible.
The men above me shout, Hum Yasha'al, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha'al.
All right, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shimmy Shabakatah, or Yahweh Shemala Thaba Shimmy Shai. His priest and officer Abraham of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under commanding General Yohana, the rightful leader of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If it's not of the ISUPK, then it's not the truth. You understand? So we're not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group or sect or coven or sanctuary or whatever you want to call yourself, a congregation, whatever you want to call yourself. We're not affiliated. We stand alone, man, because the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana is the home of the truth. You understand? Everybody else is just Christians. Everybody else is just Christians, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is right in line with America and its agenda, and right in line with that Halloween, with that nasty, disgusting day everybody feast on candy, and you let your children go out and get that candy when all year long you tell them, don't take candy from strangers. Don't get in a strange car. Don't really associate yourself with people you don't know. You understand? But tonight is the only night that all of that gets thrown away. You understand? All of that teaching all year long, all the other 164 days of the year, you teach your children not to affiliate themselves with strangers. Don't go with strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Don't hold that stranger's hand. Get away from that stranger. Stranger danger. All the stuff we try to teach our kids to stay out of harm's way. You give ears to that tonight. You understand? Your children have nightmares all year long about ghosts and goblins and goons. You turn off the scary movie. You understand? You can't watch that. That's too scary. Don't let my baby see that blood and gore and all that stuff on the TV. But then tonight, you'll be jumping out with masks on scaring your children, giving them heart attacks, Cal War. You'll be scaring them. You'll be putting on the mask. You'll be dropping spiders out the ceiling. Know your child is definitely afraid of spiders. You understand? You'll be throwing fake snakes at people, knowing your grandma is gonna have a heart attack over this fake snake. You understand? You'll be putting on these costumes when any other time a goblin is scary, a goon is scary. You know what I'm saying? A vampire is scary. These things are all scary, and they you want to stay away from them. But tonight you throw away everything you've been teaching your children. You throw away everything you've been trying to instill in them, and then you wonder why they rebellious. You wonder why they don't do what you say. You wonder why they get in trouble in school and they terrorizing the neighborhood. It's because you're the problem. You're the problem. You understand? When you teach your children to celebrate these heathen holidays, especially tonight with that Halloween. I seen an article. Oh, before I go too far into that, to my left, your right, priest and officer K out of war, holding it down with me. Give him a hand. Before I get too far into the whole Halloween and also that goddamn voting, you understand? When these are the two topics we going into tonight, K out of war, and I want you to help me try to explain the mindset of niggas here in this place that we get treated unfairly everywhere we go. everywhere we go in society, in business, in whatever we try to do, whatever we try to set up, whatever we try to build, we get treated unfairly. But then we turn around and try to conform to the system of voting. And the oppressor uses this tactic to scare us. You seen that commercial that's coming on that's saying, after this year, your family and friends will be able to see how many times you vote. I got a text. I wish I would have took a snapshot of it. I don't know if it was on the book or what it was on, but it had my voter history. It had 2022 non-voter, 2023 non-voter. No, it had 2021 non-voter, 22 non-voter, 23 it had not eligible or something like that. It was saying. I guess I ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you know. If you don't know anything about me, Cal, I'm pretty sure you do. My real know. Trying to bully me is a trigger. It's a trigger. It's been a trigger for me for a long time. If you try to bully me, I plead the fifth. It's not gonna be a good day for you. If you try to make me do, you try to forcefully make me do something, I'm going to. It's not gonna end well. You understand? Now, I do follow orders under Commander General Yohana and all the men above me. I do follow orders because this is the Lord's work. This is the Lord's army. And I will follow orders in this army. However, if the men above me are not telling me something to do, giving me an order, if someone in the outside world, outside of the UPK, tries to forcibly intimidate me to do something, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. You understand? Something's going to happen. Who's to say what it is, but it's a trigger to be bullied. And when I looked at that thing on the, when I seen this commercial that your friends and family going to be able to see how many times you vote, it's like peer pressure. It's like it was a bullying statement to me. Like now I'm supposed to be scared because my friends and family going to see I don't give a goddamn about voting. Yeah, God, I wish a Christian would try to come to me and say, I know how many times you voted. I know I'll bust out. Hey, look, I'll bust something. Pause. Salakia. Something is gonna get attacked because that to me, man, that is an evil and wicked thing to try to do. You understand? To try to get somebody to sin. You understand? And that same thing happened. That same thing. I'm definitely gonna read the story tonight about the woman and her 7 sons where they tried to get bullied to eat pork, man. Some of you Christians out here, y'all so weak. You're so weak in the mind that if there was, what if there's no food? You'll eat pork. You know what I'm saying? You're sin against the Lord because you're uncomfortable. You understand? You'll sin against the Lord because society says you should let your children go trick-or-treating. You will sin against the Lord because your people before us have died for the chance to give us the right to vote. You'll sin. That's enough. That's enough to make you go, well, to hell with the Most High's commandments. To hell with the Bible. To hell with what I'm supposed to do to please the Most High. You won't give a damn. So, oh, so like it's one of these. It's this one. Yeah. You can hear this though, right? You can hear this one, but you can't hear. Check. Yeah. So no sweat. So we can position the mic right here, and then just turn it this way when you want to say something. All right. Or better, try to see if it's the mic itself, and maybe the cord. But I don't think it's the cord. I think it may be this we hear you good. Yeah, you can't, yeah. He said he hears good. We just got to pass the mic. No problem. Uh-huh. So we gonna get Zephaniah 2:1. Let's pass the mic back and forth.
I threw out a Shabbat, y'all. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. It says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather together, O nation not desired, man. And now is the time that we should be gathering together. We, instead of going out and celebrating Halloween, and God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to live our lives by. And Halloween is not a day, a high holy day, a holy day, a holy day. You understand? It's not. It's a day, and I'm gonna go into the history of Halloween. I'm gonna tell you some gruesome facts about Halloween. And if you still want to celebrate and send your kids out to Halloween, you hate your children, man. You hate your kids when you find out the evil, wicked history behind Halloween. But you still want to allow your kids to do it. You understand? You got to be some kind of wicked person to hear these scriptures about how the law says you can't be a goblin, you can't be a warlock or witch, you can't be a necromancer, you can't talk to the dead. And then you find out the gruesome history that Halloween is about the dead. It's about celebrating death. It's about celebrating fear. It's about celebrating, being petrified. You understand? After you get that history, and then you still celebrate Halloween, you're in essence turning your back on the Most High. You understand? Instead of coming together like it says in the scriptures, man. So we're gonna read a little bit about Halloween, which is just some notes that I took down from over the. I bring this out every year when Halloween comes around. It needs to be pushed all the time to our youth, because really this day attracts our youth because it gives them what every kid wants: candy. Every kid wants a bunch of candy, a bunch of sweets, a bunch of snacks. You know what I'm saying? It allures, and what's so bad about it is that that's how these predators allure kids, man. You've heard all the tragic stories about how the predators allure kids with candy. And I got candy in my van or whatever, but then we're gonna celebrate it. So let's get right into it. So Halloween originated from a Celtic festival called Samhain. It was a Samhain festival, and it was celebrated from October 31st to November 1st. It was 2 days. You understand? And it was to welcome in the harvest and usher in the dark half of the year. You understand? It was to welcome the harvest, because now the crops that have been growing during the summer and the fall, it's time to harvest those crops now. You see tobacco being harvested. You see corn being harvested. You see all these, different vegetation and lettuce and all that stuff is getting harvested around about this time. Produce and all of that, right? And now this is the time right before everything goes dead. This is right before now you see the leaves turning color, because the leaves are in the process of dying off the trees. So they going through a color process. They're going through, some of them turn red, all these beautiful colors you see in the fall. The leaves are starting to fall off the trees. Your granddaddy and your daddy and your uncles and your brothers are getting all annoyed because they gotta rake them leaves up out the yard. They blowing them, and these big piles of dead leaves are piling up in everybody's yard. You understand? And it's ushering in the dark half of the season of the year. Meaning it's gonna get cold. All the trees are gonna, basically die and go into a dormant state. You understand? And it's believed that during, the Celtic, which was, see if you can pull up Celtic culture. The Celts. We're going to read about the Celts, man. And they were a group of white people. They were a group of pagans that celebrated many different gods. They worship many different gods. And Samhain is one of their festivals that happen from October 31st to November 1st. And to give you some, some backdrop of how America is evil and wicked, and how it makes or promotes us to sin and celebrate these wicked holidays, when the history of it is so foul and corrupt, and it's so evil that America proves over and over and over again that it's a place that we should not conform to. It's a place that we should never seek to join. You understand? You should never go vote for no candidate or whatever. You should never vote, man. If you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're God's chosen people, you should never vote in this society here. You already have a ruler, man. You already have a king. Christ is the king of the Jews, man. Christ is the king of these 12 tribes. And if you claim to be a so-called child of God, you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you have that blood running through your veins, you should consider it a disgrace to want to choose another ruler to rule over you except for Christ. You understand? You got something on the Samhain festival? And it's spelled, just so we can get it, it's pronounced Samhain, but it's spelled Samhain. Samhain. That's Samhain festival. You understand? Go ahead.
This come from history.com.
History.com. Go ahead.
Says Samhain, a Gaelic word pronounced Samhain, is a pagan religious festival originating from an ancient Celtic spiritual tradition. It is usually celebrated from October 31st to November 1st to welcome in the harvest and usher in the dark half of the year. Celebrants believe that the barriers between the physical world and the spiritual, in the spirit world, break down during Samhain.
Hold on. So the Celts believe that during this time of year, that the barrier between the spirit world and the barrier between the spirit world would break down. So it just means that it was easier to communicate with the dead during this time. It was easier to communicate with, you know, your long lost dead grandmama, or your long lost dead uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like it was easy to do it because the barrier to the spirit world will break down during this time.
Celebrants believe that the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world break down during Samhain, allowing more interaction between humans and denizens of the other world.
Hold on, allowing what?
Allowing more interaction between humans and denizens of the other world.
Allowing more interaction between humans and dead people.
Right, pretend ghosts.
Yeah. Ghosts and goons and goblins. You understand? So now this is a festival coming from a time where the Celtics believe, now this is another culture, it's a pagan culture, which Halloween comes from a pagan society. The Celtics were a pagan society that believed in many gods, believed in many powers. You understand? And one of the powers that they believed in, or one of the things that they believed in, was this festival that was celebrated on tonight and on November 1st. And it ushered in the dark half of the year. And it was believed that it was easier to talk to dead people during this time. It was easier to have communication with ghosts and spiritual entities during this time. Go ahead.
Salaki, it sound like something a drug addict would come up with.
Sound like what?
Something a drug addict would come up with.
Yeah, conscious, you getting high, Salakia. When I say you, I don't mean it as an insult. I'm saying because Salakia, a lot of us choose to get high. We choose to disobey God's laws and statutes and commandments by using drugs, by self-medicating, which is against the law of God. You understand? Go ahead.
Ancient Celts mark Samhain as the most significant of the 4 quarterly fire festivals, taking place at the midpoint between the fall equinox and the winter solstice. During this time of the year, hearth fires in family homes were left to burn out.
What?
Hearth fires in family homes were left to burn out while the harvest was gathered.
They was burning down houses, man, while they was gathering this harvest. They was burning stuff to smithereens while they was gathering this harvest. Now that don't sound like something very festive. Don't sound like something very jovial. You understand? For your house to be burned down while everybody dance and jump around and get in the harvest and we having a good time. Well, you just so happen to watch your house and everything you own go up in flames. Don't sound very good. Don't sound like a very festive time. But this what the Celtics believed in. This is what an ancient group of white people believed. Go ahead.
So after the harvest work was complete, celebrants joined the Druid priests to light a community fire using a wheel that would cause friction and spark flames. The wheel was considered a representation of the sun and used along with prayers. Cattle was sacrificed, and participants took a flame from the communal bonfire back to their home to relight the hearth. Early texts present Samhain as a mandatory celebration lasting 3 days and 3 nights, where the community was required to show themselves to local kings and chieftains.
Yeah, this the part I want to get to right here. They this time, read that part again.
Early texts present Samhain as a mandatory celebration lasting 3 days and 3 nights, where the community was required to show themselves to local kings and chieftains.
Now, the community, what they talking about is the community women, man. The community women would have to show themselves to the kings and the high-ranking officials in that area, in those townships. Go ahead.
Failure to participate was believed to result in punishment from the gods.
What? Punishment from who?
Punishment from the gods.
So now they believe that these many gods, if you didn't present your women to these high-ranking officials in your town, they believe that the gods would punish you. They believe the gods was unhappy with you. You understand? Because these Celts believed in many gods. They believe in many, many, many gods. And those druid priests, you just look up the history on those druid priests. They were evil and wicked, man. They done evil, wicked things and said that this was in the name of the gods. Go ahead.
Failure to participate was believed to result in punishment from the gods, usually illness or death.
Now they was believing that when you got ill because you didn't want to participate in the nasty evil wickedness of the rulers in your township, because after these women got presented to them, they exploited them women. They took advantage of them women. They SA'd them women. You understand? They got to fulfill all kind of deviant fantasies with these women. You understand? And the women they thought they had to participate because they would get punished by the gods. So it was an evil thing that they had to endure because these Celtics, they believed the gods would be mad if they didn't allow themselves to be SA'd. You understand? If they didn't allow themselves to be taken advantage of. You understand? And ravaged. They believed that the gods, they were forced to believe that the gods would be upset with them. Go ahead.
There was also a military aspect to Samhain in Ireland, with holiday thrones prepared for commanders of soldiers. Anyone who committed a crime or used their weapons during the celebration faced a death sentence.
So now, go down to where, does it say anything about Christianity? Read that about the monsters.
Because the Celts believed that the barrier between worlds was breachable during Samhain, they prepared offerings that were left outside villages and fields for fairies or seeds. It was expected that ancestors might cross over during this time as well, and Celts would dress as animals and monsters so that fairies were not tempted to kidnap them.
What? They would dress up what?
And Celts would dress as animals and monsters so that fairies were not tempted to kidnap them.
So now, what do you allow your kids to do during Halloween today? You allow them to dress up like monsters and different animals and werewolves. You understand? Because the Celts believe that, the fairies weren't believed by the Celts to be good things. Fairies were there to kidnap you and impose punishment on you. You understand? That's what the Celts believe. And America adopted that practice during Halloween. And that's why you dress up during Halloween. You dress like a ghost. You dress like a monster. You dress like an animal, like a werewolf. You understand? Go ahead.
And Salaki, like I mean, we was young, we would dress like Jason or Voorhees and
right.
What's Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. Like what's fun or cool about dressing like a serial killer, maniac, psychopath, and introducing your children to that? Right. What's fun and what's cool about that? But that's the culture that we adopt, Salaki.
Damn right. It's the culture that we adopt because we are living in an evil, wicked society, man. We living in a society that promotes death, promotes witches and goons and goblins, promotes getting high, promotes potion, conjuring up potions and all of that. That's the place that we live in, man. And how can you be a Christian or say you love God and love Christ, and you're allowing your kids to celebrate death and celebrate monsters and dress up and have fun? Like Jason was a scary figure, man. He wasn't going around giving candy to kids. He was a serial killer. You understand? Freddy Krueger was a serial killer and a dead one at that. Man, we got to wake up here, man. You understand? We got to wake up in this place. This place is not a place for us to get comfortable, man. You understand? Keep going.
And celts would dress as animals and monsters so that fairies were not tempted to kidnap them. Some specific monsters were associated with the mythology surrounding Samhain, including a shape-shifting creature called a puka that receives harvest offerings from the field. The Lady Gwen is a headless woman dressed in white who chases night wanderers and was accompanied by a black pig.
Say that again.
The Lady Gwen is a headless woman dressed in white who chases night wanderers and was accompanied by a black pig.
That is disgusting, man.
Yeah, that's shot out.
You understand? And that's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what's going on here in this place, man. You understand? That's the Celtics. That's the Celtics belief that America adopted, and now we celebrate it as Halloween. Keep going.
The Dullahan sometimes appeared as impish creatures, sometimes headless men on horses who carried their heads. Riding flame-eyed horses, their appeared was a death omen to anyone who encountered them.
So now let's read the scripture. Let's read the scripture where it's a sin to do any of these things, to celebrate witches and warlocks and necromancers, man, in Deuteronomy.
Make if his son or his daughter pass through the fire.
No, that's get hold on, just hold on. We hold on 1 second. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, go to Exodus 22 and 18 first. Let's start there.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 22, and verse 8. If the thief be not found, then the master, 18, Salaki, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Verse 19, whosoever lieth with the beast shall surely be put to death.
So that's right there at 18. You understand? Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. You understand? That's now you want to dress up. You want to dress up as a witch on Halloween. You allow your kids to dress up as witches on Halloween. You understand? And that is a sin according to the Bible, because basically you're saying you want your child to be put to death by the Most High, because that's not allowed. You understand? Hold on 1 second. So now go to Deuteronomy 18 and 11. Uh-huh.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 11. Or a charmer, verse 10, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of time.
So now you can't use spells. You understand? You can't be the one that allow your children to pass through the fire. That means the initiations. These indoctrines that we force our children to go into when you allow them to celebrate Halloween, when you allow them to be forcefully, a lot of times we force these things on our children. Our children don't want to be scared. You understand? Our children don't want to have something jumping out at them to force them to be afraid or frightened. You understand? That's you passing them through the fire. That's you initiating them to be okay with being scared, with being frightened. You understand? Like, take an infant child, a little 3-month-old baby, right? If you make too much noise or a book drop or something, they'll start crying. Like, you ever seen these different things on social media where the baby's sitting in front of the Jack in the Box? The Jack in the Box, it pop out at a time that the baby don't expect it. That's you passing your children through the fire, man. Because you're gonna scare the child. You're gonna scare the child on purpose. That you see the meme where they were sitting this voice activated thing in front of the child, and the child would make a noise and the thing would move and the child would start crying. That's you passing your children through the fire, man. You're not supposed to frighten your children on purpose. You understand? And this is what we get our children accustomed to here in America because we think it's okay. We think it's fun. We think it's funny. You understand? The child crying because he's afraid, that's not funny. Go ahead.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch.
Or an enchanter, or a witch. You understand? You understand? Now this is naming all the things that we allow our children to dress up in Halloween. You understand? It's using divination like a spellcaster, like Merlin the Wizard. You understand? We dress our kids up like Merlin the Wizard. Or use divination or observer of times, meaning these different festivals, just like Samhain. Just like Samhain is a Celtic festival. These observers of time, like Halloween. You understand? Because that ain't in the Bible. You can't do that. It says, thou shalt not, verse 10, thou shalt not be found among you. So you shouldn't be doing these things. Go ahead.
And it reminds me, thinking about it, reminds me of this movie named The Purge. You know what I mean? Where for one day or for one night, it's okay to just be wicked as hell.
Right.
It's like Halloween today. Like, it's okay to dress up like a witch. When the Bible say, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Like, I mean, it's wicked. I mean, it's a lot.
Right. Keep on going.
Yeah. Verse 11, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits.
A consulter with familiar spirits, meaning a person who is gonna claim that they what is it? Miss Cleo. Yeah, Miss Cleo was a consulter with familiar spirits. Like the ones who talk to so-called ghosts to see, what the future is and what should we do in a certain situation. They allow the ghosts to speak to them. They allow the spirit to tell them, oh, I was murdered in the kitchen by such and such. And oh, you understand? A consulter with familiar spirits. The familiar spirit is your Aunt Peggy, Sue, who you think keep calling you from the dead. You understand? Every time I set my cup on this ledge, it fall down. That's Aunt Peggy Sue. She trying to tell us something. So you go to this soothsayer or some kind of witch, and she, oh, Peggy Sue said, there's all kind of things that happen because we are sucked in by by a Celtic culture that celebrates death. And that's why the Lord said not to do it. It shall not be found among you a consulter with familiar spirits. Go ahead.
Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Verse 12, for all that do these things are an abomination.
For what?
For all that do these things are an abomination.
Hey, look, if you dress your children up as a goon, a witch, a wizard, a goblin, a ghost, all these people that do these things are an abomination to the Most High, man. Meaning you're a wicked thing. You're a wicked, evil thing. You're a wretched thing to the Most High. Go ahead.
Are an abomination unto the Most High. And because of these abominations, the Most High thy power doth drive them out from before thee.
Now read that next verse.
Verse 13, thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power.
That's what the Most High commands us to do. We should be perfect, man. You understand? Meaning we shouldn't sin. Right. We shouldn't follow these heathen customs, man. You understand? Let me see. Hold on. This is what I want you to read next. I like it. Psalms 19 and 7. Psalms 19 and 7. The Lord commanded us to be perfect. Meaning it just means not to sin. And when you indulge in Halloween, you're sinning because you're allowing yourself to succumb to, or you're celebrating this ancient Celtic pagan festival. You understand? Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple. Verse 8. The statutes of the Most High are right.
Right.
Rejoice in the heart. The commandment of the Most High is pure, enlightening the eyes. Verse 9.
That's it. Right. So now the statutes of the Most High is pure, man. You understand? You want to be pure, you want to be perfect, follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what the scripture is saying. Now let me read a little bit more about Halloween and Christianity. Now, we left off where it said about talking about monsters, talking about doing this festival that people dressed up like the monsters, like the goons and the goblins, so they wouldn't get kidnapped by the fairies. You understand? Now, in Christianity, as Christianity became more popular in the communities, Pope Boniface. Now, just read about Pope Boniface. Pope Boniface tried to remove the celebration, moving it to May 13th. So Pope Boniface said, well, hold on. Now we shouldn't, he tried to just move it, you understand, to a different day, so it could be celebrated some other time. He just tried to move the day. And he said he tried to associate it with the saints, celebrating saints and martyrs, meaning he tried to incorporate it's a celebration of the dead, but let's celebrate the dead saints and the martyrs, the ones that died for a religious cause. Let's their death, we gonna dress up like them. We gonna dress up like Saint Paul, and we gonna try to incorporate their deaths to the celebration. But Pope Gregory in the 9th century moved it back. He said, man, hey, look, nah, this ain't got nothing. They gonna move it back. They moved it back to the original day, which was October 31st and November 1st in the 9th century. He moved it back and declared it All Saints Day until November 1st and All Souls Day. So Pope Gregory in the 9th century moved it back and said October 31st and November 1st was All Saints Day. All Saints Day. So then November the 2nd, he declared it All Souls Day on November the 2nd. So that's what Pope Gregory did in the 9th century, man. So now, the Pope, and this is another thing, neither Pope Boniface or Pope Gregory did away with the aspects of the celebration. October 31st became All Hallows Eve or Halloween, and it continued. They continued with these practices until the 19th century. You understand? Now, the 19th century is, you understand, the 1900s, the 1800s. You understand? Now, the 20th century was the 1900s, the water. So it was still celebrated in the 1900s, all the way 1950, 1960, 1970. When I was growing up, I was born in sometime in the late 1900s. That's Salakia. And when I was a child, Halloween was celebrated. So now we in the 21st century, we in the 2000s, America still celebrates Halloween. America adopted Halloween through Irish immigrants bringing their traditions across. The Irish were the Celts. You understand? They're the ones that wear the Celtic cloth. Those things those kilts. They wear that. That's from their culture. And they brought it, the Irish brought this over to America, and America adopted it. And America just kept it going. You understand? Give me Amos 5:21. I'm pretty sure Shabayala listened. He brought this all out yesterday in the law class, man. How this wicked holiday called Halloween is destroying blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we are trying to follow after a culture that the Most High told us never to follow after. You understand? Go ahead.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days.
So why is this a feast day? It's a feast day because on Halloween, you get to send your kids out and they feast on candy. It's a big smorgasbord of candy. It's a big feast on candy. Go ahead.
I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Verse 22, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Verse 23, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viol.
Man, look here. The Lord don't even want to hear you singing songs to these holidays. These songs, I don't know any Halloween songs, you understand? But the Lord don't want to hear that either. You understand? The Lord is not interested in all these other wicked times that we celebrate outside of the days that he wants us to celebrate, man. You understand? And like I was saying earlier, this is a dangerous time for children. Like all many children turn up missing during this time of year because their parents send them out into danger. You're sending your child into a world of danger, man, when you allow them to go trick-or-treating, this trunk-or-treat thing that the Christians try to do. They try to mix in Halloween and still try to celebrate a day that the Lord tell us not to celebrate. Halloween ain't in the Bible. You understand? Now go to Apocrypha. Get me 2nd Ezra 7. 2nd Ezra 7. I think it's 2nd Ezra 7. We're gonna read about, you understand, or is it right, is it Maccabees? Maccabees, 2nd Maccabees 7. Is it? Hold on one second. Right. Yeah. 2nd Maccabees 7. We're going to start right at verse 1, man. Like, we have ancestors that instead of reading about our ancestors that, sacrificed their lives and gave us these perfect examples of how to live a righteous life, we start reading about other cultures like the Celts, man. A pagan culture that celebrated many gods. The Hebrews are monotheistic, meaning they only serve one God. They only know of one God. You understand? They weren't polytheistic. They didn't believe in many gods. They only believed in one God. And now they were willing, and our ancestors, man, our forefathers and our foremothers that came before us, instead of giving in to the society that they lived in, some of them, the righteous ones, they left us good examples on how to be strong, on how to stay vigilant, on how not to allow the influence of society to dictate to them that they were going to sin, man. And where's our strength at today? Where is that strength today to not want to sin against the Lord, where it becomes important what you do, because what you do can either please the Most High or get the Most High to be an enemy towards you. You bring the wrath of the Most High upon you when you sin. You understand? That's real important, man. That's real important. I know America makes it seem like, oh, we can do it all. You can live your life. Have fun. It don't matter. But it does matter. And it should matter. The state of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is such a poor state here in America that we should be seeking the Most High and what we should be doing. Go ahead, read, brother.
It's the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 7 and verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
So now, these mother and her 7 sons were compelled to eat pork, to taste swine's flesh. You understand? Now, let me just paint a good picture for you. These other nations knew that we didn't eat raw meat. So it's not talking about, you know what I'm saying, just to get it out your mind, it's not talking about a raw pig foot or a raw rib. You understand? This is cooked to perfection. This is the eat pork. This is the same baby back ribs you getting at Chili's all the time. This is the same pulled pork you getting from Little Richard's. You understand? This ain't raw meat. This is cooked food. So like it's not food to us, but this is cooked meat. This is cooked swine. So don't get it twisted. When it says compelled to eat swine's flesh, picture in your mind you eating that pork rib, or you eating that pulled pork, that barbecue, that pork belly, that bacon. That's what they trying to get this mother and her 7 sons to eat. You understand? Keep going.
And were tormented with scourges and whips.
They were what?
Tormented with scourges and whips.
Now, you understand? Now, chaotic war. Let me say this. Some of us would have been ate the pork. All we had to do was get hungry. I hear people say it all the time. You hungry and the only thing to eat is pork, you ain't gonna eat it? Hell no, I'm not gonna eat it. This mother and her 7 sons, they was whipped and beat first. They was whipped and beat first. You understand? And here's what they did. Read.
Verse 2. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die.
We are ready to what?
Ready to die.
No, we ready to eat.
Ready to die.
Oh, no, we'll do it.
We are ready to die.
Uh-huh.
Rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
Look here, man. That's so righteous. We here in America, man, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we become so weak. And the oppressor, he's loving it. He's loving how weak we become, man. He's loving how so easily convinced we are. It don't take nothing. It don't take nothing but a little bit of hardship for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to sin against their power. And this mother and her 7 sons, the first son spoke out and said, look, what you gonna gain from this? What you gonna learn from us doing this? We not gonna eat this. We ready to die for our forefathers, for the law of our forefathers, man. Then betray the law of our forefathers. We'll die first. This was after he was beat. This was after he was beat with whips and scourges. You understand? No doubt he bleeding. He's injured. He's hurting. And seeing his mama, they said they were already beat, so they whooped the mama too. And he said he's ready to die instead of transgress our forefathers. Are black people, Hispanic, ready to die before they celebrate Halloween? Hell no. Hell no. We out here dressing up our children right now like ghosts and goblins and goons, and heaven, you know, we don't want them to have nightmares. How contradictory is that? How contradictory is it to dress your kid up like Freddy Krueger, but yet and still you want to comfort them when they have a nightmare? You like, oh, it ain't real. It's okay. But tonight you scaring them. You're probably going to get scared all day. People getting scared all day. Folk jumping out of corners all day. You understand? Right. Knives with made up blood on them, man. And all the children, all the wicked people that's throwing up all these fentanyl and weed and all that stuff getting put in the candy, man. All that stuff getting put in the candy. This is so dangerous, cattle war. Do you know when I was trick-or-treating before the truth, we had duffel bags, we had pillowcases full of candy. Do you know we dare not eat none of that candy till we got home and our mama had to go through it? Had to go through it to see if the wrapper had been tampered with. That is dangerous as hell, man. You're gonna allow your children. You're gonna have to search through the candy and see if the wrapper been torn open. See if it's been fondled with. See if it's got funny substance, white flaky substances on it. Why would you go through that, man?
I was a part of that too, Abraham, right? And also, we was out there as kids. You would also every now and then you would see a kid every now and then powdered with white stuff because other kids and put flour and socks and pounded them out. You know what I'm saying? And took his candy.
And took the candy. Damn right. And took the candy.
I played a part in that too,
Salaki. Hey, look, I can't not deny that I snatched a couple bags. Because it's a wicked and evil night, man. It's a wicked and evil. It comes from the Celtic celebrating other gods. It comes from the Celtic celebrating death. So you just got to only expect bad things to happen.
They called it mischief night.
They did?
You remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
And now, you understand, the Most High in righteousness is trying to keep the children of Israel safe. We shouldn't celebrate the Halloween because it's unsafe. It's not safe. If it's any candy you got to get and you got to stroll through it to see if it's been tampered with before you give it to your children, like you a test dummy. You're basically like medieval times where they brought the king something to drink and they had a subject there to taste it first to see if it was poison. You bring the bag of candy, pour it out on the bed, and you siphoning through it to make sure it ain't no razors in there. Make sure it ain't no syringes in there. Make sure it ain't no funny looking powder on the candy. God damn, if you got to do that, you might as well, hey, look, man, I'm not doing that. I just go buy my kids some candy, man, so I know it's safe. So I know that it's safe. That's why you Christians, man, you disgust me. You disgust me as a Christian, subjugating your children to this debauchery, man, to this sin and degradation. And then you wonder, first thing happen when they get sick is, oh Lord. You want to cry for the Lord then. But then you want to give them fentanyl candy. You want to give them candy that's, may have marijuana in it. Candy that may be poison. Tonight is the night that's going to happen. For all you celebrators of Halloween out there, when your kid turn up sick tomorrow because he done ate a piece of candy, or she done ate a piece of candy with some kind of substance on it that you missed because you want them to celebrate, you want them to be happy with candy so bad. It's your fault. It's going to be your fault. You understand? That's the punishment that the Lord that's coming down from the Most High, because the Lord told us not to celebrate this day. Go ahead.
Verse 3. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 3. Mm-hmm. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot. Verse 4. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
So now this is the torture of the first son. This is the individual torture of the first son. So they brought the mother and her 7 sons in. So this is 8 people. They brought 8 people in, and they said, and they whooped them and beat them with whips and scourges first. Then they say, hey, to make this end, all you got to do is eat these ribs. Eat this ham sandwich. Eat this pork belly. This ham, these ribs, this bacon. Look at it right there, looking all, smelling all good and cooked to perfection. On here and eat it. Then the first son steps up and says, man, what good is this gonna do you? We rather die instead of sin, go against the law of our forefathers. So since the first son said that made the king mad. It infuriated him. So he ordered cauldrons to be brought in, to be heated up. Cauldrons are big pots, big, huge pots. He ordered the cauldrons in. Read that part again.
Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot. Verse 4, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
So now, after the cauldrons were heated, and after they whipped the mother and her 7 sons, the cauldrons were heated, and he cut out that son's tongue. Cut out his tongue, so now he can't talk no more. You understand? He's got a mouthful of blood because he wouldn't just eat the pork. He wouldn't eat the ribs, came out of war. You understand? To sin against his forefather, they rather die. That made the king mad. So the king had cauldrons brought in, and they cut out this brother's tongue. Read.
And to cut off the utmost parts of his body.
Meaning they cut off the uttermost parts of his body, means arms, uttermost part, the utmost part, like his arms and legs. They normally would do it right at the forearm, right below the elbow, and right below the knee. So now this brother is mutilated, tongue cut out, his arms are cut off, and his legs are cut off at the shin, right below the knee, and right below the elbow. His tongue is cut out. All because he won't eat a pork sandwich. All because he won't eat some ribs. Go ahead.
The rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
The rest of his brothers and his family had to look at this. Now, I'm only bringing out this story to say, to bring out the links that the oppressor will go through to make you sin, and the links that you got to be willing to endure not to sin. You understand? Like, ain't nobody cutting off your arms if you don't celebrate Halloween. There's no one torturing you to celebrate Halloween, to dress up like a goblin, to dress up like Freddy Krueger. No one is getting tortured to do this. So we shouldn't have an excuse to sin. There should be no excuse, man. You have no excuses, because his mother and her 7 sons, they went through the utmost punishment not to commit sin. Go ahead.
Now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan.
To be what?
To be fried in the pan.
To be what?
To be fried in the pan.
The brother was whooped, beat, tongue cut out, and then they gonna tongue cut out, his arms and legs cut off, and now they finna fry this brother like a piece of chicken, man, in a cauldron. Read.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully.
So now, hold on. They threw the brother in the cauldron. He starts to fry, and there's smoke coming out of the cauldron. But they say after that was done and the smoke kind of dissipated. So he had already had it, fried. This brother gave up the ghost. He was gone. And after that smoke kind of, like, after a while, after you fry something so long, is burned all the way up, and no more smoke comes out anymore. It's just burning. It's just burnt up, almost to ash. And so as the smoke kind of cleared from this brother being put to death, the rest, the mother and her now 6 sons, encourage one another and say, hey, this would be a good day to die for the Most High. How many one of us can do that? Ain't nobody getting tortured for you not to dress up your child like a fairy, or like Freddy Krueger, or like Jason Voorhees. Ain't nobody torturing you to do these things. So the sins that you commit against the Lord, you just doing it without no pressure at all. The oppressor loves this. Our oppressor, our slave master, loves how easy it is to get us to sin against the Lord. But rather we should have the example of our forefathers and our foremother who were tortured so they wouldn't eat pork. You understand? You can apply this to Halloween. You understand? You can apply this to any sin. Basically, they were tortured before they sinned against the Lord. They said they would not sin against the Lord. And they endured the torture. Here in America, somebody told me, hey, look, if you ain't had nothing else to eat and pork was the only thing to eat, I eat the pork. Damn. You would just give in. You just give in without a fight. You'll sin against the Lord without a fight. That's just what we do like the Christian church, man. Go ahead. Finish the story up. We're going to hit voting for the last little bit of the class. Read.
Exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, verse 6, the Most High Power looketh upon us, and in truth have comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servant.
So now they saying to themselves, the Lord is looking at us. You understand? And when you say here in America that when somebody commits a sin that the Lord is looking at you, they don't even, man. It's so weak. Those words don't mean anything to people these days. You understand? Well, here in the Isupk, it means something to us. The Lord is looking at us, man, and it puts a reverence in my heart because the Lord is looking at me, and He's looking at me that I won't celebrate Halloween because I rather die than forsake the law of my forefathers, man. Just like the example here. Go ahead.
Verse 7. So when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? Verse 8, but he answered in his own language and said, no. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order, as the former did. Verse 9, and when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws, unto everlasting life. Verse 10, after him was the third, made a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully. Verse 11, and said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. Verse 12, insomuch.
So now, they read that part again.
Verse 11, and said courageously, these I had from heaven.
The mother talking, right? Oh, he thought the brother said, look, my family I got from heaven, man. And go ahead.
And said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them. And from him I hope to receive them again.
Right. And look, he said, I'm going to die and look, I'm going to receive my family again, man. You understand? So now skip down to verse 20.
Verse 20, but the mother was marvelous above all.
But the mother was what?
Marvelous above all.
But the mother was marvelous above all. All the sons died. But that sister, oh, she was the best out of them all. Go ahead.
And worthy of honorable memory.
And what?
And worthy of honorable memory.
Man, all the time, what they say, you disrespect your women in the UPK. Y'all don't love y'all women. Man, the Bible made honorable mention of this sister because she was the marvelous of all, meaning she was the strongest. You understand? We remember this sister because she taught her children not to sin against the Lord. And they all were very courageous in their death. But she took the cake. Go ahead.
For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage.
She what?
Bear it with a good courage.
Meaning when she saw what they did to her sons, she took it with good courage, man. She took it with a good courage. She took it gracefully. Read.
Because of the hope that she had in the Most High.
Because of what?
The hope that she had in the Most High.
Nah, because of the hope she had in America.
because of the hope that she had in the Most High.
She had hope in the Most High, man. She knew that the Lord was looking at what she was doing. Go ahead.
Verse 21, yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, verse 22, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it that I formed the members of every one of you. Verse 23, but doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. Verse 24, now Antiochus, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. Verse 25, but when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. Verse 26, and when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son. 27, but she bowing herself toward him, laughing, the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner, O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee suck 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, and consider the Most High made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren.
Now, she basically encouraged her son, saying, look, hey, take this death. And why did she say that? Because she knew he was coming back. And she said, so I may receive thee again. You understand? Meaning she knew that she would live again to receive her son again. You understand? And that's a story that's a breakdown for another class, because you do come back. Reincarnation is very real. You understand? And all the people in the Bible knew it. You understand? So now read from 39 to verse 42.
Verse 39, then the king, being in a rage, handled him worse than all the rest, and took it grievously that he was mocked. Verse 40, so this man died undefiled and put his whole trust in the Most High.
He what?
Died undefiled and put his trust in the Most High. Verse 41, last of all, after the mother died. Verse 42, let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feast.
The what? Let this be what?
Concerning the idolatrous feast.
Read it from the top.
Verse 42, let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feast.
This should be enough, man. The way this mother and her 7 sons died should be enough to make you not celebrate Halloween. To know that, hey, because these feasts that celebrate idols, this Samhain, this feast that celebrate death, and the monsters that go with death, this was an idolatrous feast. You understand? Just like Halloween is an idolatrous feast. Go ahead.
And the extreme tortures.
Let this be enough concerning the idolatrous feast and the extreme tortures. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and I think 15. That's the one?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17 and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren.
Hey, look here. Look here. This is what you got to do. You got to, first of all, not put a ruler over you that's not of your nation, man. You understand? Kamala Harris is not a black woman. She may act like she black, like Rachel Denizal. Rachel Denizal was a white woman that tried to pretend to be black. She even said that she identified as a black woman. You understand? Just because you got braids and you can wear your hair poofed out in a fro, don't mean you black. You understand? Just because Kamala Harris carry around some hot sauce in her pocketbook, don't mean you black. Right, talking about prepared collard greens in the tub. She is lying. We are so gullible, man. And you can't set a ruler over you. Meaning the ones that you vote to run this country, that's your ruler. You understand? Read it from the top again.
Comes book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren.
Now, the Most High got to choose them, and then it's got to be one from your brethren. You understand? You know who the Most High chose came out of war? Christ. You understand? The Most High chose Christ to be Israel's king, man. And until Christ comes back, Commanding General Yohana has the helm, man. Has the helm of the nation. He's not the king of the nation, but he's standing instead of Christ until Christ returns. You understand? The leader of the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana until Christ returns. You understand? He's the one building this nation. He's the one that the Most High chose to be in Christ's stead until Christ returns. You understand? And we have a king, man. We have a king. That king is Yahushua Mashiach in the Hebrew, man. You understand? And Christ never promoted us to celebrate Halloween. Christ didn't never say in the scriptures, yeah, go get candy from strangers. Go send your children out to go get candy from strangers. Dress them up like goblins and goons. Christ taught what was in the Old Testament. And the Old Testament says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. You shall not pass your children through the fire. To be work with divinations. And be necromancers, and be charmers, and be witches, and warlocks. You understand? You can't do these things. And all these things are celebrated. Witches and warlocks, and necromancers, and consultants with familiar spirits. All these things are pushed during Halloween, during tonight. And all the while this death is pushed, you send your children out to get candy that's laced with fentanyl and marijuana and full of poisons and raisins in the apples and all. There's so much candy. There's so much wickedness going on out here. You got to come and inspect the candy. Dangerous as hell. How about you just stop it? How about you just stop it, man? So you won't put yourself and your kids in danger. You know you can die by touching fentanyl, right? So what if the candy laced with fentanyl and you touch it and you die? That'll be hey, look, that's because we out here sinning. Let's not bring the Lord's wrath upon us so we won't suffer the plagues that America suffers. Let them out there have to weed through the candy for their children, man. Let's keep our children alive. Let's keep our children safe. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. With that, clap it up. Pass the class over to Precinct Officer K out of war.
This is Isupk security announcements. We got an Isupk under Commander General Yohana. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are to share themselves of the word. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Thurs, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in the Hebrew, which is pronounced Mayasharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Dedication. It's called Hanukkah, all right? It's the 25th day of Salakia. It's the 25th day of the 9th month. And it's it's over the space of 8 days. It's going to be Sunday, December 14th for the space of 8 days, okay? And you can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, 52 through 61. It's the Feast of Dedication called Hanukkah, okay?
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Ahmadium, which means everybody stand in the Hebrew. Wapon Yahakwadam, which means everybody turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakuvka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nadan Lanaw, Lakam, Kad, Yawam, Wasalat Lanaw, Kabawaf Naw, Kasalak Naw, Kabawaf Yanaw, Wala'ah, Tabiah Naw, Panasaya 1, Abal, Awashah Naw, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapara, La'awalum, Amon.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Saul means turn. Man of Israel, Saul, man of Israel, give one courtesy salute to the teacher, man of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Ahmadim, Barak, Yah Bashim, Yah Shabrakatah. Saul's return, Sister Ahmadim, man of Israel, give one courtesy salute to the sisters, man of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Ahmadim, Barak, Yah Shemal, Tah Bashim, Yah Shah. Yah Yamatah, class is dismissed.